Okay, so this was quiz 2.1 that period 6 took. In this first question, you're given a histogram and you're asked to first make a rough sketch of a density curve. And the thing I'm looking for is that you labeled your density curve properly and you scaled your axes. And then you need to show that it's unimodal and skewed to the left. So really make sure that you kind of pronounce that left tail in your sketch. Okay, that one I think most people did really well on. This next question, when you're asked to write a few sentences about the distribution, like literally write down shape, center, spread, and outliers. Okay, shape is unimodal and skewed to the left. Okay, with a mode at between 60 to 70, or a mode between 65 to 70. Okay. Shape center. The center, use the mini tab output right here. Okay, so here's the mean. Okay, so you can report that the mean was 56.85 with a standard deviation of 12.35. So that's your center and your spread. Or probably better, since this is skewed to the left, I taught you to use median. So the median was 59 with an IQR of 15, 65 minus 50. Okay, so that would be the better, but I accepted both answers. Okay, but use the actual mini tab output. Okay, shape, center, spread, and outliers. Outliers, you're going to actually calculate. Okay, 1.5 times Q times IQR. Okay, so 1.5 times 15. Okay, so add that to Q3, get your upper fence, no upper outliers. Subtract that from Q1. You see that you have possible outliers right here between 20 to 25. Okay. Don't put your answers in this narrative form, like literally write out shape, center, spread, and outliers. Okay, and then any unusual points or anything like that. Okay, question number 3. I really liked what this student did. This student figured out how to actually insert special characters for mu and sigma, and that just looks really nice. This student also showed all the steps, and I really appreciated that. I think that's just a very thorough job. The only common student error that I ran into here, most people got z-score, no problem, because that's just a straight up calculation. But with percentile, remember that we're defining percentile as the percent of students or the percent of values that are below that particular value. So if 33 people had scores higher than 62 and exactly one student had a score of 62, so that's 35 observations. So now you have 44 observations that are below, right? Okay. Sorry, 33, 34, yeah, 44 observations below. I don't know what I just said there. But 44 scores were below 62. Now, if you put 45 because you included the 62, I actually gave you credit because, like I may have mentioned in class, College Board is kind of shifting towards less than or equal to for their definition of percentile. I don't like that shift, but in some, if you guys did that, I give you full credit as well. A typical score, this was just, you had to recognize you had to use median and report that it's 59. Okay, reading the ogive, yeah, the 50%, like normally I would make you draw the lines here, but obviously it's a computer screen and I didn't make you draw lines. I didn't make you submit your work for this, but I accepted a range of answers. The 50% is roughly 3.8. Okay, this student said 3.75, which is probably more accurate than my estimation. Q1 is the 25 percentile, right about there, about 3.3. Q3 is the 75th percentile, way over here, about 4.6. Okay, so IQR is just Q3 minus Q1. For this question, you're going to standardize, and also, sorry about that. For this question, you are not standardizing, you're just doing a linear transformation. Okay, so the new mu is you're going to multiply by 60 because that's your unit conversion from minutes to seconds. And then you're going to add 5. You're going to bump the entire distribution to the right by 5 units, but the spread doesn't change. Okay, the spread doesn't get bumped because you're not multiplying by any, you're not, sorry, the spread doesn't change. You just do the unit conversion, but you don't add the 5. Okay. All right. Again, I really appreciated this student figured out how to insert these math formulas, which I think is really kind of cool. I don't know what software package this student used. Personally, I use Equatio, which allows you to insert equations. It's free. I use the free version, but you can use anything. What are the mean and standard deviation of the z-scores? 0 and 1. It's just going to be 0 and 1 because when you're doing z-scores, okay, when you're doing z-scores, once you subtract this minus the mean, well, that is the mean. So as you subtract the mean from the mean, that's 0. When you subtract this from the mean and divide by standard deviation, then of course, you're going to get 1. Okay. All right. So that's what we have for quiz 2.1.